Hi, my loves. I'm Coach Naz, and in this video, I'm going to share with you two of the biggest things that stopped me from my greatness. And this video is going to be a little bit more free-flowing. There's not going to be no edits because I just want to challenge myself a little bit and get myself out of the comfort zone, because it's like I used to cut the videos because I really want you to like me, to be quite frank. I don't want you to, look at my video and be like, oh God, this thing is so long, and turn it off. And to be quite frank, that is the truth. So I want to show you my real self, my authentic self. I make a lot of blunders when I speak. I get nervous when I speak. And guess what? I'm just human. And nothing about me is perfect. And I'm okay with that. And so let's get into the video before I start giving a speech. So the first thing that held me the F back was the fear of rejection. And so the reason why that happened, and again, this is when I've done a lot of work on myself, a lot of research, a lot of therapy sessions, coaching sessions, this is what I've come up with, is that as a child, I needed to always prove my worth to my mother. And now before I get into this, I just want you to know that I don't have any resentment towards my parents. I've forgiven them. I love them for who they are. And they are exactly the reason why I'm here. And so if I didn't have them, I wouldn't be in this position right now. So I have no hate, resentment, anger towards them, because they made me who I am today. So now, what I was trying to say is that since my mom, her love was very unconditional. No, that's wrong. Her love was very conditional, okay? So what that means is that I had to always prove it to her. And the way that I needed to prove it to her was by dancing. Dancing was everything to her. And so I would have to kill it at dancing in order for her to love me, in order for her to be proud of me. And so what I'm trying to get to is that I had to constantly show, or not even show, but put on like a facade for her to like me. And unfortunately, that set me up for failure later on in life, because I was constantly, I was in these dangerous situations with people, that I will get into. And I would just, I didn't want to kind of have my own opinions because I was scared that they're going to reject me, right? And I needed to constantly prove to them how worthy I am of a human being. And that sucks, because I am worthy no matter what. I'm enough no matter what, just how you are as well. And so that definitely was something that was deep rooted within me. And so when you are afraid of rejection, which a lot of people are, you then hide parts of yourself to be accepted, right? And so when I was on this, actually, no, I don't want to get into that yet. And so I was super inauthentic. I would probably say for 30 years of my life, to be quite frank. I mean, I don't take in when I was young. That's a whole different story. But I would say that my entire adult life, I was super inauthentic, and I lied majority of my life, about who I was, what I enjoyed, and so it's just sad that we as a society have to put on the show, put on a facade for somebody to like me. And the sad part about it is because we have been told that, in order to be popular, in order to be liked, you need a lot of people to like you all at once. And that is so not true. That is literally the most incorrect statement on the planet. The only person that needs to like you is you. And maybe 2 or 3 other people. Friends is a good thing, but you don't need 10, 20, 30 people to like you for you to like yourself. And so what happened was, back in high school, I mean, it's a long story, but basically I realized this when I got into a lot of unhealthy friendships. And I remember there was this girl, she was Pakistani, and we were in high school together, and we went to the mall. So I'm probably going to butcher the story. But we went to the mall, and she went to a shop, and she wanted to just try on an outfit. And I was totally naive, totally clueless, and La La Land as usual. And I mean, I wasn't in La La Land. I still love me for who I was. And I'm still a bit naive, to be quite frank. I will always be naive and I will always look for the best parts of people, and that will never change. But so what happened was I was, doing my thing. And as we're leaving, I realized these two cops are like following us. And I'm like, what's going on? And then to make the story short, she basically went in the change room, put on an outfit, and then put on a sweater, and she basically stole an outfit, right? So I was the accomplice, which was like so ridiculous because I had no idea that she did that, and I would never do that as well. And so I got banned, from the mall, and it just made me realize like people are not who they say they are. And it honestly really hurt me because I was really scared, because my parents always were very fear-mongering, like, oh my God, you're going to go to jail and they're going to kill you. Like, it was very dramatic in my household. And so I was always, I was really afraid, and getting walked out of the mall with a bunch of cops was not my best moment, but it did happen. And as I always tell everybody, my clients, is that everything in life is meant to teach you something. And my soul needed to learn that. Unfortunately, that wasn't the only lesson. I had a lot of other lessons that I needed to correct myself, and to see my worth, and not to hang out with people that their values aren't aligned with yours, right? And so that was one of the times when I realized that I need to be really aware of the people that I surround myself with, and not just hang out with whoever just because they're your friends from high school, and just because you know them for over 10, 20 years, they don't really need to be your friends still. I'm sorry. That's just what I believe in. Friends are somebody, a friend is somebody that supports you, that is with you, that acknowledges your success, that celebrates your success, and is there for you when you're having a really rough time. That's a friend. Anyways, I can really get into the friend stuff, but we'll leave that for another time. So basically, that was my biggest fear of rejection. So I would never be real. I would never be authentic. And unfortunately, again, I'm going to drag my dad into it. He's going to love this. He doesn't even watch my videos, but he does sometimes. Anyways, I don't even know if I want to share this, but basically my dad, he actually, no, it would be both my parents. Both of my parents lied to each other quite a lot. My dad lied to my mom, and mom lied to my dad, and they would kind of keep me as the bearer of their secrets. Don't tell mom that, don't tell that. Like, it was constantly. And so I realized that this is what relationships are. You're meant to lie to your partner, and like, this is how it works. That was my role model, these role models growing up, unfortunately. And not to say that my dad and my mom haven't taught me any good things. They have, but this is just what has led me to be inauthentic, believing and lying to other people. And then at the end of the day, when you lie to other people, I saw this the other day, actually, when this guy, he was cheating on his wife for like 20 years. And he said at the end of the day, I was only harming myself. I was lying to myself. And that is the truth of life, is like, you're lying to other people. They don't get affected by this. I mean, not as much as it affects you. And so that is one thing that I learned from a lot of different experiences. But I just wanted to mention that, fear of rejection, you have to learn to live an authentic life, meaning speaking your truth. And it doesn't have to be rude. It doesn't have to be disrespectful, but just owning your truth. I think literally it's like something releases something out of your body, and you're like floating, because you no longer are attached to this lie or this facade. You're just yourself, and life is so much more beautiful when you're like that. And so that was my first thing. The second thing that held me back from my greatness is perfection. I constantly tried to be perfect. I wanted to look perfect. I wanted my outfit to look perfect. I wanted my hair to look perfect. I wanted my relationships to look perfect. And the sad part about perfection is that, again, it's going to disappoint you. And the reason it's going to disappoint you is because you're living in fantasy world. Because unfortunately in life, there is nothing such as a perfect relationship, a perfect outfit. No, maybe there is a perfect outfit. But what I'm trying to say is that there is no such thing as a perfect relationship, right? And even if you do look perfect, it doesn't mean that your life is perfect, right? Maybe you look perfect for the day, but doesn't mean that you're a happy human being. Doesn't mean that you have a healthy relationship. Doesn't mean that you're, you're going after your dreams. Like, it doesn't mean anything. And so what I realized is that I actually made some notes right here in case I forget what I was going to say, because I'm not cutting anything. This is me being authentic. But yeah, that kind of goes back to, my mom. I had to constantly, show my worth by dancing. And that's the only way that she would. It kind of relates to both, I think, fear of rejection and perfection. Like, I just needed to have this put on an act so she would love me. And then I would need love from other people. And so I would adapt to each person, each situation. And so I feel like the only way that I learned, I'm just going to tell you my story. The only way that you can really work on this perfection, you want everything to be perfect, and this fear of rejection, is to put yourself in situations that make you, that like you have no other choice but to be authentic. So for example, what I'm doing right now, I'm just putting myself out there. I'm not cutting it. You're going to see all of my mistakes, all of the flaws, all of my silly jokes that I make when I get uncomfortable. This is me, right? And so I think that when you put yourself in uncomfortable situations, it's going to change your life, because that is where your soul is going to start showing itself. But when you're constantly kind of putting a pretense, you go on to dates and you have this story like, oh yeah, I am, whatever the story is, there's so many people that have different stories. But it's like about just showing your authentic self when you're on that date and not pretending to be somebody you're not, because who you are is more than enough, right? Nobody is going to beat you at being you. There's only one of you in this entire world. And so when you try to be somebody else, you're leaving your soul behind. Your soul is literally crying for you. And every time that you put on a filter, and I'm going to say this till the day I die, okay? This part of perfection, and I'm not going to lie, I would not say I'm like 100% there. I still have, what would you say? I'm not vain, but I like to get my hair look cute. I do like a little bit of lip liner, when I maybe have stopped a bit of Botox. Maybe I'll get it when I'm a little bit, maybe 40, 45, I don't know. But what I'm saying is that I'm not sitting here and saying I'm a monk, but what I'm saying is that stop using filters, okay? Because it makes me laugh when people use filters, because I'm like, you don't look like that. And I did this for the longest time, okay? I used to put filters all day long, and this is one thing that I think that a lot of us need to work on is you don't need to be perfect. You don't need to cover up your feet, your skin, and the way that you talk. It's like all part of you, and you're a divine being that is meant to be here for a special purpose, to help humanity in a way. And so that is just what my message was to you. I want to make sure that you understand that, you are you, and there's nobody else like you on this planet, and you are here for a divine purpose. There is a reason why you're here. You have a gift that nobody else has. Only you have this gift. So don't waste it. Don't waste your precious life that you have. You only have one life. So don't waste it being somebody that you're not, because you're never going to be that person. You're always going to be you. And so that's what I wanted to say. And so I'm going to end the video here, because it's been 14 minutes. Jesus Christ. This is one of the longest videos I've made. I'm not going to cut it. It's going to go full in like that. I'm not going to stop talking. Shh. Okay. So I just want you guys to know that I appreciate all the love and support that I've been getting. My last video got 1,000 views, and I still cannot believe it that, what I'm saying is helping somebody out there. And I honestly just appreciate all the love and support. So I just want to say that Please don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell notification so you don't miss any more videos. And I'm going to see you guys in my next one. Mwah.